Today, we're going to unpack something that literally every single one of us struggles with, especially right now, the comparison trap. I mean, we live in a world where everyone's absolute best moments are just broadcasted 24/7, right? It's so incredibly easy to feel like you're somehow falling behind. So, to break this all down, we're going to look at the hidden cost of perfection through a really classic, relatable fable about a simple crow. It actually holds a massive, eye-opening lesson for our hyper-connected lives. Together, we'll map out the illusion of perfection and uncover the incredible, often totally overlooked power of simply being ordinary.
So have you ever looked at someone else's life and wished it was yours? Seriously, think about it for a second. Have you ever been scrolling through your feed, sitting on the couch on a random Tuesday night, looking at someone else's picture-perfect highlight reel, and suddenly just felt this huge wave of inadequacy wash over you? Maybe it's a friend's flawless vacation, a colleague's massive promotion, or some influencer's seemingly perfect morning routine. We are constantly measuring our messy, behind-the-scenes reality against the curated, filtered highlights of others. It's exhausting, isn't it? Well, our source material tackles this exact feeling, but instead of social media, it uses a timeless story about a crow who is feeling exactly the way we do when we're mindlessly scrolling.
The story maps out like this. Step 1, feel inadequate. Step 2, search for the most beautiful bird. And step 3, discover the peacock. So our story begins with this totally simple crow. He's just flying around, doing his thing, but he gets stuck right there in step 1. He looks at his black feathers and thinks, man, I am so plain, I am so boring. So he moves to step 2. He decides he needs to go out and find the happiest, most beautiful bird in existence to see what true success actually looks like. He flies around taking a few laps, searching for the ultimate standard of beauty. And finally, he hits step 3. He discovers the peacock. To the crow, the peacock is the ultimate influencer, the undisputed superstar of the avian world.
Just look at the peacock's highlight reel. Stunning feathers, crowds wait hours for photos, national bird status. This bird literally has it all. He's got these absolutely stunning, iridescent feathers. The story describes how crowds of people will literally stand around waiting for hours, just staring up into the trees, hoping the peacock will dance so they can snap a picture. He is quite literally the national bird. Talk about elite status. From the outside looking in, the peacock is living the American dream of the animal kingdom. You know, red carpet treatment, paparazzi everywhere, absolute adoration. He's the ultimate envy-inducing success story.
So the crow approaches the peacock, totally starry-eyed. He looks at all the fame, the cameras, the dazzling colors, and he says, "You must be the happiest bird in the world." And honestly, can we blame the crow here? This is exactly what we do. We look at a CEO, a celebrity, or even just the neighbor with the brand new sports car, and we make a massive assumption. We assume that because their outward appearance is flawless, their internal life must be completely figured out, like completely devoid of pain. We just equate external validation with internal happiness.
But here is where the story shifts. The peacock doesn't smile. He doesn't brag. Instead, he leans in and in a hushed, serious tone, he just says, "Listen closely." Imagine the whole atmosphere dropping right now. The peacock asks the crow if he hears a specific, terrifying sound approaching in the distance. The crow listens, and suddenly he hears it. Footsteps. A hunter closing in. The illusion of safety shatters in an absolute instant.
And then, the peacock reveals his dark, heavy reality. He says, a feather is plucked and sold across the city. The peacock explains the agonizing truth of his existence. Those beautiful feathers that everybody admires, they are the exact reason his life is in constant danger. People hunt him, they rip out his feathers, and those pieces of him are sold in markets and hung as decorations in people's homes all over the city. His perceived perfection is actually a cage. His beauty is this massive burden that causes him constant, agonizing fear.
The real danger of envy lies right here, and the contrast between the crow's perception, thinking the peacock is perfect, loved, and famous, versus the peacock's reality of being hunted, plucked, and living in fear. The crow thought the peacock was universally loved and happily famous, but his actual reality is a state of perpetual panic. You know, you never actually know the price someone is paying for the life that you're jealous of. Fame, intense beauty, massive wealth, they almost always come with heavy taxes on a person's peace of mind, their privacy, and their freedom.
Now, the story takes a kind of humorous turn. The peacock looks at the crow and admits something completely shocking. He is actually deeply envious of the crow. The peacock points out that people love to hunt and eat all sorts of flashy birds. Sure, people eat turkey, but nobody is hunting down a crow for Thanksgiving. You've got roasted turkey, maybe chicken, but absolutely zero roasted crow on a holiday menu.
And because of that one simple fact, the crow is perfectly safe.
This flips the entire narrative right on its head. On one hand, you have the crow, ordinary, totally ignored by the paparazzi, and as a direct result, completely free. On the other hand, the peacock, the national bird, constantly photographed, but always hunted. The peacock tells the crow that being ordinary and flying under the radar is actually the ultimate luxury. I mean, the crow has the freedom to fly wherever he wants, whenever he wants, without ever looking over his shoulder. He has a peace of mind that the peacock would trade all his beautiful feathers for in a heartbeat.
And this brings us right out of the fable and into our modern lives to look at the comparison trap. The comparison trap is the toxic habit of measuring your behind-the-scenes reality against someone else's highlight reel. When you fall into this trap, you're basically being the crow looking at the peacock. You're agonizing over your plain feathers, completely blind to the fact that the person you're envying might be silently dealing with hunters, anxiety, and a total loss of personal freedom.
So what's the real power of being you? Well, it's freedom from the spotlight, safety in your own lane, uniqueness, and absolutely no pressure to be perfect. There is immense power in just being yourself. First off, there is incredible freedom away from the spotlight. When you aren't trying to be the national bird of your friend group or your industry, you just get to live life on their own terms. Second, there's safety in staying in your own lane, focusing on your own growth rather than constantly competing for attention. Third, leaning into your uniqueness. And finally, shedding that crushing pressure to be perfect. When you accept your own life, warts and all, you unlock a level of peace that a perfect image can literally never provide.
Here is the ultimate takeaway. There is absolutely no one else in the world built exactly like you. Nature is vast, biology is incredibly complex, and out of billions of people, the universe made you a complete, one-of-a-kind original. The source material emphasizes this so passionately. There is no second version of you. Your specific mix of traits, experiences, and quirks is entirely unique. Wishing to be someone else isn't just a waste of time. It's actually a tragedy, because it deprives the world of the only you that will ever exist. Life is huge, and your specific path is yours alone to walk.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative question. Whose life are you envying, and what hidden burdens are they carrying? The next time you find yourself wishing for someone else's fame, beauty, or success, remember the peacock. Remember the heavy cost of those shiny feathers. Stop hunting for perfection, embrace the incredible freedom of your own unique journey, and be totally grateful that no one is hunting you for Thanksgiving. Thank you so much